Today we're taking a look at an homage to the Cartier Tank Solo XL. It's from Casio and it has probably one of the worst names of a watch that I have ever encountered. However, this is larger, so it's around the same size as a Tank Solo XL. It's around the same size as a JLC Reverso. We'll go through all of that in the review. However, it does get a dial that is very different and something weird that I haven't seen before on a Tank. Probably other watches, but never a Tank watch. This is kind of different and cool. So let's flip the camera and take a look at a Casio homage to the Cartier Tank Solo XL. This is called the Casio Twinkle Tank. That is probably one of the worst names for a watch that I have ever heard. However, the dial is where you get that twinkle from. So they call this Twinkle because it sort of looks like aventurine, but it is not. It has a bunch of little flecks in the dial. I think it's actually enamel. And in daylight, in direct sunlight, this really comes alive. It's all different colors. However, indoors, when you're in normal indoor lighting, it only looks like a night sky, which actually is really cool. But then when you get it outside, it really becomes sort of dynamic. This is obviously an homage to a Cartier Tank, but they've taken it a little bit of a different direction. This is also larger than any other Casio Tank that I have featured here on my channel. I featured one on my channel before. It was around 20 millimeters wide. This one is 30 millimeters wide. That's actually pretty big. And to give you some comparisons, the Cartier Tank Solo XL, so the extra large, is around 31 millimeters wide with, I believe, around a 41 millimeter lug span. So in other words, a men's version of the JLC Reverso. It comes in at around 30 millimeters and it has a lug to lug of around 44 millimeters, 45 millimeters. This one, like I said, measures in at 30 millimeters at the case. And then at the lug, so the lug to lug on here is around 44, I want to say, somewhere in that neighborhood. So 43. And you have a little insert on the crown. So obviously they're trying to do something here that makes it look like a Cartier. And obviously they need to put an insert in here. So they put a little black piece of what I think is plastic. I can't really tell, but it's definitely not glass. You have a very small crown on here, which is kind of typical for a Tank watch, 4.8 millimeters. And then the thickness on here is 8.1 millimeters. Obviously, this does get a quartz movement. It is a Casio. You have a solid case back. The case back does say it is stainless steel, so that leads me to believe that the case is actually a sort of a composite metal, and then it is chrome plated. So it's probably not a stainless steel case. These sell for around $69, $70, somewhere in that neighborhood. However, some of them are actually selling for more than that. So we've seen this happen with a lot of watches. This is not available in the United States, I believe, right now. So if you go on places like eBay, these sell for like $100, somewhere in that range. So definitely over the typical asking price. There's a different version that you can get, and I'm going to be doing a full review on that one as well, on a bracelet. So you can get this one on a bracelet as well. However, that one has a gold or rose gold tone element to it on the dial, and those little specks are also in a gold tone. So it's a little bit different from this. I'll be doing a full review on that one. I also have that one in, and you can get that for the regular retail price. Those are not selling for over the retail price, which is kind of ridiculous. Now, this does fit well on my 7.5 inch wrist. I'm going to show you that right now. And then, of course, we're going to do a lume shot because this actually does have lume on it. I have no idea if it is good, but the hands are filled with lume. You do have Roman numerals. Those are applied. It looks like they are applied, but very thin. And then you have stick hands. Those have lume in them. And then you just have sort of a stick second hand, and it just says Casio at the top of the dial. And then at the very bottom of the dial, it just says Japan movement because this gets a Japanese movement. Pretty cool. And it says it's cased in China also on the back. So I would imagine, you know, obviously components are made in China and they assemble it in China. So you have a Japanese movement and a mineral crystal. So very quickly, let me throw it on my 7.5 inch wrist. I'm going to show you what I have on today. Today I have on my newest purchased. This is a Bulgari Octo L'Original. I just recently purchased this, and a video for this will be dropping very, very soon, if not tomorrow. Look at that. What a beautiful watch. I hope Casio make an homage of this watch. It would be a little bit more difficult, I would say, for the same reason why Casio have not made an homage of the Santos, because the Santos is obviously way more difficult to homage than the Tank Solo or the Tank American, or those watches, because they're a little bit more of a simple case when it comes to the design. So this comes on a leather strap. It says it's a waterproof leather strap. Obviously you're not going swimming with this watch. I definitely would not recommend that. But you could see on my 7.5-inch wrist, I would definitely wear this. It fits very nice. It does not look small. And I have to say, these are one of those watches that look a lot more expensive than they actually are. I think a lot of people would mistake this watch for a Cartier. It looks a lot like a Tank Solo. You even have that little cornet in the crown. Really a very good looking watch on wrist. And this also is available with a bracelet, and I have experienced the bracelet, and I'll be featuring that in another video. I'll feature both of these watches in the next video. That bracelet is actually really nice. It's very inexpensive. It's a rolled steel bracelet, but it looks and feels way better than the price point. Again, like I said, this is going for around $100. I think it's worth $100. Honestly, this is a beautiful watch for $100. It's a beautiful, really beautiful watch for what the retail price is, which is around $70. That's incredible. Anyway, guys, very quickly, let's do a lume shot and then wrap up the video. Well, there you go. There's actually no lume on this watch. The hands look like they have lume, but they do not. Kind of disappointing, but this is a dress watch. Kind of get it. It's nice if it would have a little bit of lume, but I guess, it is a dress watch. It doesn't need to have it. This is a good looking watch for the price. It is definitely an homage to the Tank Solo, but it's not, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a direct homage with this little fleck in the dial. It looks really weird and kind of cool. Something very, very different. I don't like the name. If you're out and someone says, hey, what kind of watch is that? You could say it's a Casio, but are you going to say it's a Twinkle tank? I don't know. I think that's really a horrible name, but this is a good looking watch and it's a great size for a man. So if you are interested in this look, they make this in a few different versions. I believe they actually make this without that twinkle if you are not into that. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Casio making homages to Cartier? I think it's kind of funny. And here you go. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next video.